Welcome to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast. This podcast was designed with you in mind. If you're ready to erase the norm and embrace the truth, come pull up a chair, grab a journal, and tell a friend that your favorite Jersey girl is back with another episode. So let's get into it.
Hey y'all. So this episode, as always, I'm always excited about each and every episode, but this one took some work, y'all, to try to get our schedules mapped out. Now, I done been on her show, let's say maybe about three times. And this is her first time on my show as a guest, not a moderator, not all the other things that I have her doing for me, but as my guest. So she gets to sit on the other side and relax and get the questions asked instead of asking the questions. I have today author Nikki Nicole. So many hats that she wears. She's an author. She's a mom. She's a grandma to my chocolate drop. She is a graphic designer. She is a podcaster, and she has her own show called Breaking the Silence. Now, I'm going to tell y'all now, and this is a spoiler alert, Breaking the Silence is going to be international. So y'all mark my words, okay? I said it first, okay? So when it comes back around, y'all remember that I said that. Breaking the Silence is going to be international. So that is definitely a show you would love to be on. You have to be on. And the production is top tier. But after this interlude, I'm going to bring her to the stage and we're going to talk about finding your rhythm today. She has so many hats and she's still navigating through finding her rhythm, y'all, but we're going to talk about it. So after this, coming to the stage, author Nikki Nicole. Hey, author Nikki Nicole.
Hey, family. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited.
Hey, talking about that interlude might not be my taste. That was nice to me.
I'm saying this a whole production with you, fam. Like we got countdowns and color schemes and stuff dropping from the ceiling, and it's just transitions and everything. Like I told y'all, she a graphic designer, so I'm telling you, the production is phenomenal. Motivational inserts, like come on here, it's amazing.
You a mess.
So tell the people, who is author Nikki Nicole?
That's a broad question.
I know you got so many hats.
So author Nikki Nicole is from a very small town, Mullen, South Carolina, and I have 2 children. I have a wife. I'm married. A grandson. I'm an author of 5 books. Graphic design is my baby. I love graphic design. I'm a podcaster, Breaking the Silence. And guess that's about it in a short form.
You sing or low key?
That's low key though. That's
you supposed to say, I am the host of the international podcast called Breaking the Silence. Okay, that's what you're supposed to say.
hey, I'm trying. I work hard every day to try to get.
And you to create Winner Circle. Shout out to the Winner Circle. Let's talk about the Winner Circle. So after all of that, how do you find your rhythm? Like, what does that mean to you when you hear finding your rhythm?
Man, in the beginning, it was kind of like jumping right into it, but not really jumping into it and pressing play, but jumping into it head first without having all the structures and the organizations to it and really knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. So it took a while. I'm still learning that, to be honest. In the beginning, I was penciling people in for interviews, and then next thing I know, I had Calendly. So every day I learned something new to add to the situation to make it better, if that makes sense. So I'm still finding my rhythm. I mean, I'm up all the time, no sleep, So I'm trying to balance that schedule now too, to try to get some sleep and have family time too. So it's hard to like be all of these things over here, and then you're trying to be podcaster, author. I haven't even written on my books yet because I haven't found time between podcasting. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's
you know,
hard.
I always have a visual. So as you were saying that, right? I thought about double dutch. You know how first of all, let me just say permanent turner. Okay. I'm not the one that's gonna be in the rope jumping. I will turn for you. I got that down. But the jumping part, I'm not gonna do. But as you were talking, I was thinking about that. And I was thinking about how sometimes when you're first starting out, you know, you got to kind of wait and see. They do that little shake when they be waiting to see when they could jump in. And then when you first jump in, sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. But then after a while, they kind of learn the way of the rope and when to exactly jump in at the right time. And then it's just go time. They do tricks, they do all kinds of stuff. So when I hear finding your rhythm, that's what I think about. That's how I see you. Like right now, you're learning when to come in as the rope is turning. And then before you know it, let's say this time next year, you're going to be doing tricks and all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited for you. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I like
So
that
when
visual.
see, I'll be trying because I'm a visual learner. So I know when people say certain things, it could go in one ear and out the other. But if a visual, it'll stick to me longer. So I try to add visuals sometimes so people like me can understand it. So what do you do when you feel out of sync? Like you just said, you doing all these things, you haven't been having the time to write. So I know that makes you feel some type of way because you are an author and you do get that, okay, when's the next book coming out? Because I know people ask you, um, what do you do when you feel like, dang, I'm kind of, I don't want to say slacking, but I'm kind of not, you know, giving this a portion of me too. What do you do to overcome that?
Well, currently, what I'm trying to do is revamp everything that I have going on, for one. And I'm trying to map out a schedule where, okay, I'm only doing this Monday through Friday is my days for podcast. So Saturday and Sunday is family time, and it's going to be writing time. So I'm catching up. I've caught up to where I need to be. So now I'm able to kind of navigate a little bit better. And because I revamped my schedules and I'm like, okay, I'm scheduling for season 4 and season 5. So I can go ahead and kind of like get that break that I need
Mhm.
for family, for writing, for touring, whatever I need to do outside of just podcasting. So
Right. So what's a good writing space for you? Like what do you need to pump out the creativity? Like some people like music, some people has to be quiet. What is your ideal scene for writing?
well, it really would depend on what I'm writing.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
sometimes I would need that music to give that creative flow. But then sometimes I need everything to be quiet so I can hear what I'm thinking. So it just depends on what I'm writing about. If it's something I'm writing about for as like pain or something that happened in the past, I might need to be in a quiet area. But then
Mm,
you have to be careful writing about those type of things too, because then you're reliving those moments.
yeah.
So when I write about stuff like that, I stop most of the time because now I'm reliving it and I'm hurting all over again. So it just
Right.
really depends on what I'm writing.
So when you have like a special song or a playlist, or do you just it doesn't matter? It's just the type of songs like R&B or instrumentals. Like how which ones do you usually use to help you?
Well, gospel, if I'm gonna write
Okay.
something, gospel moves me on any level. So even if I'm writing about something that's gonna cause me pain or hurt, that gospel really pulls it out and it makes like, everything gonna be all right. So gospel is my thing when it comes to writing. I may do some instrumentals sometimes, to write those uplifting poems like about love, those type of poems. But most of the time when I'm writing something about my experience, it has to be gospel.
Yeah, gospel make you ugly cry. Especially, I mean, like that snot and cry. Like I don't like that because I try to look cute at all times. So I try to listen to gospel when I'm by myself because
Oh
that's
yeah, I
kind of
get the ugly crack.
that ugly cry. Especially if you listening to like a Tamala Man or a Leandria Johnson, like those people that don't sing, they sang
Sign.
SANGGGG. Like, ugh. But gospel, yeah. I love to listen to like the gospel instrumentals, like the melodies, those are pretty good. Those are dope. You can kind of they sometimes they play like the hymnals and stuff like that, and then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they play songs without the. But I love that. That's good for creativity too. You should try that.
Mm-hmm.
Try that next time.
Yeah,
So
try
what
that.
about any to avoid burnout? What do you do as far as like self-care? Do you incorporate okay? I already know that answer, but I'm just gonna let you tell the people so you can say it out loud.
Oh, avoiding burnout. I don't think I know how to do that, to be honest.
You don't.
Um, for the first time ever, I went to bed around 10:30.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. To my side. Come on. Just come to
Yeah,
bed early.
I needed that sleep, but my body is starting to tell me. My body
Yeah.
is starting to tell me, hey, it's time for you to rest. So when my body told me to lay down last night, I went to sleep. When my body said, don't get up this morning until about 11, 12 o'clock, I didn't get up. So my body is telling me to rest, to avoid that burnout. But at the same time, I'm trying to catch up and get ahead so I won't feel overwhelmed with everything. Because I do have a lot of things going on. It's just
Mhm.
with podcasting, it's a lot. So yeah, I don't know how I can't give nobody advice about burnout.
I'm just grateful that because you are full time. So I'm just grateful that you have that space to set your own schedule because I can only imagine trying to do half the stuff you do on a full time job schedule. That is completely insane because yeah, you just do way too much. And today was my day off. So the beauty and not having to jump up because you have to get up, that is an amazing feeling. Like it causes so much peace, freedom, as we talked about. Shout out to the verbal T. Um, when you know you have to get up at a certain time, you automatically wake up with like anxiety. So
Yes.
I can only imagine how you felt this morning. Like, wow, I actually went and got some rest, and now I'm just chilling. You ain't on nobody's time constraints, just yours. I love that for you.
That's it. That's it.
I
Full
love that.
time world is freedom. I
It
mean, you can
is.
do what you want to do, but at the same time, is you don't really have that luxury either as a full time podcast because then when you become full time, then you start doing more things. So you're adding things, and that's what happened to me. I went full time, and it's like boom, I added this, then I added this, and then I added that. So when you become full time, you start opening up other opportunities to do other things. So
Mhm.
it becomes like it's work. But yes, you can make your own schedule and say, I'm not working today. You can do that, but some days you can't say that. You still got to get up and do your thing. So
So, what was the pivotal moment for you to say, okay, yeah, I'm a really leave this 9 to 5, well, job, it wasn't a 9 to 5. I'm gonna leave this job and really tap into podcasting full time. What was that pivotal moment and what was that like, that conversation like with your wife?
I was like, I've never in my life had something that I really love. Like I eat, breathe, sleep this situation of podcasting. And I didn't know it was gonna feel the way it does, but it felt so good. The more episodes I did, the more rewarding it felt to me. Like I was changing people's lives. I was putting them on the spotlight. And it was like, I started off with me, just my voice. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think that it was gonna go this far where I'm actually helping people. So when it
Mhm.
became powerful for me and that I realized that, I'm helping people, I was like, hey, babe, I really want to do this full time. I really feel like there's so many great people out here in this world that are doing great things that need their stories heard. So when I told her that and I had that passion with it too, she was like, yeah, let's do it. So here I am.
Love that. I love that. Shout out to Sissy. Having a support system is vital in anything that you do, especially podcasting, right? And a lot of the misconceptions that people don't understand with podcasting is you don't have to buy anything. All you have to do to support me is share. Like you don't even have to listen to the episode. You could just share a reel that I posted. You could just share the link that I posted as far as like there's a new episode dropping. Like support is
Free.
vital and it makes you want to keep going, like you said, because there's going to be days when you don't feel like you're changing lives because you don't have the reviews that you want, or you have a certain, time stamp in your mind of how you want to achieve this, and it doesn't come out that way. But knowing you got people in your corner that's going to back you and say, hey, not only can you do this, but I believe you can do this. I know that means the world to you.
Yes, the winner circle. That's
Shout out
it.
to Winner Circle.
That's it, my people. If I didn't have y'all in that circle, besides having the family support, all of this would just be in vain because y'all push me. My wife pushes me. My family pushes me to like be the best version. So every day I jump up with that mindset that I'm gonna do
Mhm.
something different today, or I'm gonna change somebody's life today. I'm gonna do something. So podcasting, it can be easy and it can be hard, but it's really what you make of it. But for the most part, you got to have that dedication. You got to have that commitment to it. And you got to want to do better. You got to want to be in other people's faces. You got to want a broader audience. You got to want these things. But if you don't want it, then everything you're doing is vain.
Right. So when you have unnecessary changes happen, because for me, I love a good schedule. So I like stuff to be strategic in that way. So when an unexpected change come, I'm going ham. It's Jersey City all day. How do you handle that now? Because you're on your own schedule. So how do you handle when stuff doesn't come, the way that you plan it?
Well, I used to be just boom, just running with the changes. If somebody come to me and say, "Oh, I can't do my episode today, but I can do it tomorrow," I used to still run with it. I can prep a show in less than 24 hours. I've proven that at least twice. So, but now I'm to the point where I'm like, no, I can't do that anymore. We're gonna have to schedule this the right way and give me time to prep that show
Yeah.
because it really stresses me sometimes and overwhelms me when I have to do that last minute stuff, even though I can do it. But I feel like I'm not shining that light on that person right because I'm rushing to do something. So
Mhm.
now I'm to the point now where I'm not, no last minute changes. If they cancel, that's fine. Even though I prep for it, at least when they come back on the stage,
It's already done.
it's already done. So,
Mhm.
hey, somebody did that to me the other day. It was like, I thought he wanted me to do the show that day. It was so funny. And I went to prep and I just took off and started prepping the show. I was like, yeah, I'll be ready by 2 o'clock, or just give me some time. And I was keeping him informed. I'm about ready. I'm almost ready. He was like, I wouldn't do that to you. That's not what I wanted you to do. I didn't want you to do that show today. I was like, well, at least it's done. We both laughed about it. So he went ahead and scheduled it out for like 2 weeks later. He was like, nah, I wouldn't do you like that. I know you put a lot into what you do. So I was like, well,
That's dope.
I didn't know. We was on two different pages, baby. I was running. So yeah, that was another proven situation that I can do it in less than 5 hours. I had that show ready. So
5 hours, y'all. She said 5 hours. She could do it less than 5 hours. So you already know when I tell you the production be top tier, the production is 10 out of 10. Okay. Like I'm telling you, Breaking the Silence is the show you need to be on because it's giving everything. So do you think that if you were like people who want to do anything, whether it's podcasting or taking a leap to being their own boss, entrepreneurship, do you think the same lessons that you've learned in podcasting could be the same lessons that they can apply themselves?
absolutely. Anything that you do, as long as you have commitment, you're going to be dedicated and you're going to be willing to work, then anything that you do, whether it's podcasting, whether it's being an author, whether it's being whatever you want to do, whatever your passion is, you can still do it. You just have to have key elements to get you to that next level. And everything starts with you. If you start seeing yourself different and you start reevaluating yourself and you start having accountability for the things that you do and don't do and hold yourself accountable, yes, that can work in anything that you do. So hard work is the key, though. You got to be willing to work.
That Lions mentality, that's one of your motivational videos.
You got to have that mentality. I mean, Lions mentality, you got to have an Eagles mentality. All of those great animals that just be going forward, you got to have hunger. You got to be ready for it. If you don't be ready for it, then you're not going to get to the next level. Just think about it. If you make it past 10 episodes as a podcaster, what they say, you're going to make
You're
it.
doing good. Yeah.
10. Just 10. Come on.
Yeah. Especially if you audio, you could do 10 in your sleep because there's no blueprint to what it's supposed to look like. And that's one of the things that I love about it, because you can make your show your show. You don't have to have the same formula as Breaking the Silence. That's why I love the Winner Circle, because each and every show of ours is different and it's unique. And it we add our own signature, our own secret sauce, our own timestamps. Some range from 7 minutes to an hour and a half. Like there is no necessary blueprint. You can just come into it as your own. Vulnerability, transparency is key, and people feel that. They that comes across the screen or their ears if you're just audio, because I'm an audio baby first. I love me some audio, but it comes across when you are doing it from your heart. Right. People can feel that, they can sense that. So you mentioned earlier that you are a mom and you have 2 kids. Did you always have this mentality, this hustle, this fight in you, even as a mom? Because when you are a mom, you're used to having several different hats, but you also are used to stopping the world for your children. So how did you, or what did it look like being a mom and still trying to achieve dreams, being an author and doing those things? How did you kind of navigate through that?
Well, anything that you do, you have to put your kids first. Now they're grown now, but when they were young and I had to work, I would work 1 and 2 jobs coming up. I've been working since I was like 14. So I would work a job. Sometimes I worked 3 jobs and went to school full time at the same time. But my hustle came because of them. Everything that I did was because of them. I wanted them to have the best of the best. I wanted them to have whatever they needed. And I know it was just me. So they were depending on me to get them whatever they wanted or needed. I had my mom around to help me as well to keep them while I worked, because I had to work. But now if it was anything else I need to do, she was like, no, you on your own with that, but I'm going to keep them so you can make your money. You know what I'm saying? But going out and having fun, because, I had my first child at 16. So going out and having fun was not something I could do. My mama she's old school. So she's like, if your baby can't go, you can't go. So,
kids.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, being a single mother, during that period of time or whatever, I had to put them first and everything, whether it was my work schedule. If my mom says she can keep them so I can do a second job, then good. But if not, I couldn't do it. But yeah, they'll tell you I've been working all my life. I've had this hungry mentality since I gave birth to my son. Literally, since I could even work, I've been like this. People always they look at me like, you always working. Yeah, I was a workaholic bad.
Wow. And now you're scaling back, which is good, because you used to, when you were working, you were still podcasting heavy. So now you're scaling back, and I'm proud of you. You making changes. I'm proud of you. That's good. So what made you decide to become an author? Because again, that's something that you and I talked about. It don't look like it's easy, but the way you be talking about it is like it's so easy. So what made you say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be author with not 1 book, but 5?
Well, I mean, I always wanted to be an author. From the day that I can pick up a pencil and a notebook, I wanted to be an author one day. But I didn't see it happening either, because, like I said, everything starts with you, because you got to believe in yourself. So I didn't believe that I can do it. So for a while, I should have been put a book out a long time ago. A lot of people was like, okay, finally. You know what I'm saying? Because I was writing literally all my life since I was like 5 years old. A book sack on my back with notebooks in it and pencils. And that's all I did was write. So when I published that first book, man, I was on cloud nine. When that thing came back from Amazon and said your book has been published, and I went and verified that it was actually on Amazon, I took off running through that house, played me some gospel. I was like, I know you lying. So yes, becoming an author was like winning $1 million, honestly. And then after that, I just couldn't stop. I was like, I'm gonna write the next book. I'm gonna see if it's gonna work the second time. Then I'm gonna see if it's going. I just kept going, and then I ended up being in Barnes and Nobles, Amazon. All of my books are in my hometown's museum and a gift shop. One of the books is in a women's shelter, and I have my books in 4 high schools and 4 libraries. So I just started moving with that. I didn't even realize that I could even get in a library. And somebody asked me, how you get your book in the library? I asked them, can I put my book in the library? I mean, it was things just was that easy for me. When other people have to pay for stuff, I wasn't paying for anything. It was just supposed to happen. I mean, I don't know.
That's
But
that
yeah,
favor on your life.
got to be. It's got to be. It's nothing but God. I that's it. God.
That's all you need. Your gifts will make room for you. And it's just like you said, growing up, you were prepping yourself for that because you had the book bag and you had the pencils and the paper and you was just writing. So you were already preparing yourself to be diligent, to be strategic, to be by yourself and just zone out, to do whatever it is that you needed to do to write your story and to help others or shed a light, as you say, on others as they tell theirs. So that's awesome.
And the crazy part about it is my son was like, Mom, you done been through a lot in life. Why you haven't wrote a book yet? You got a lot to say. And I was like, what you mean I got a lot to say? I'm not telling them folk my business. So yeah, he was like pushing that thing and pushing it. So I was like, since you pushed me to write my book, it's time for you to write yours.
I know that's right. Since he talking trash.
Right. So I published his book. I published his first book, and now he's working
it.
on his second book. So yeah.
I love that. I love it. I love it. Well, this is the part that you hate, right? Because every time you watch the show, and I'm like, this is the last question. And you be like, oh, the last question. Yes, this is the last question. So this is not Monday motivational content, but I do enjoy your motivational content. So I want you to speak to the people, give them a motivational word. By you having all of these hats and all the things, and there's so much stuff going on, mental illness, and with this whole what we were watching with this lady being killed by the police and all this stuff, people is just going through. So send something out to the people that they can use to motivate themselves, and then tell the people where they can find you.
Okay. Well, it's like this. You know how when you're a child, you have to learn. You have to learn everything from crawling to walking to running. You have to learn everything, even down to learning how to ride a bicycle. You have to learn. And of course, you're going to fall. You're going to fall sometimes, getting on that bicycle, at first you got the training wheels, on. And then now you done moved up where the training wheels come off. And you may fall a couple times, but you still have to get up. Everything in your life, you got to learn it. And everything you go through, that's just like me skating. I want to skate so bad. And I learned how to skate, but I had to fall 1,000,000 times and scrape my knees before I really could skate and dance on my skates. But at the end of the day, it was rewarding. I was happy about it. So as you go through life, just know that no matter what you do in life, no matter what you learn in life, you're going to fall sometimes. But the beauty of it is you still can get up. If you got the strength to get up, brush yourself off, get you some ointment, apply it, get you a Band-Aid, and keep it moving, because over time, those scars are going to heal. And you're going to stand up and you're going to win. And when you see the end results, you're going to be happy. So everything starts with you, no matter what you do. If you don't believe in yourself, how you expect the next person to believe in yourself? If you don't want it, then why you think somebody else is going to see the value in you? So my advice for everybody out there, no matter what you're trying to do in your life, just evaluate you, evaluate your circle, because you have to have positivity in your life in order for anything to move too. You can't just be positive with yourself, getting up every morning and say, looking in the mirror and saying, you know, I'm going to do this. And then you got negative Nancy over here in your circle telling you can't. So you have to have not only positivity with yourself, you got to have a circle that's going to push and drive you as well. So today is your day. Make it count. Let's get to the top together. You can find Breaking the Silence on all platforms. I am on Facebook as Breaking the Silence podcast page. I'm on YouTube as Breaking the Silence 24. That's all the way around with Instagram, TikTok, and I'm on Twitch. So come break the silence with me.
Awesome. I love you so much, sis. I appreciate you for coming on and giving the people a motivational word. And I know that everybody's going to be blessed by this episode and what you are saying. And they're going to follow you and they're going to book you. And Breaking the Silence is going to be international, like I said.
You miss. Yes.
But thank you for coming on, sis. I appreciate it.
Anytime you need me, I'm here.
So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, I want you to remember that you are graced and gifted for a time such as this. You have purpose in this world, and you have been created to do great and amazing things. So until next time, bye.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and don't forget to leave a review. You can follow Shira on all major platforms and on YouTube at Shira Renee 510. Until next time, spread love, show grace, and shine bright.